Morning, guys. It's a lazy Sunday morning. It's about 8 o'clock. We've been up a little bit here, had our breakfast. It's a little dark in here. Alexa, turn on the entry light. Yes, it's working. Alexa, turn on the hall lights. Oh, hardly any delay. Seriously, I don't know, half a second. It's working really well. Got one niggle. The light at the kitchen table, when it comes on, sometimes it'll flicker a couple times. I think it's just the trim. I've been adjusting it, trying to play with it, and there's just some mismatch between this fixture and the switch controls, but I'll figure it out. I haven't really delved into the manual that much yet. But today I'm just going to be plugging on through. Got a whole bunch more to wire. Got a 4-way to wire for the back patio lights. Alexa, turn off all the lights. And a whole lot of other single switches to do. It's really cool. This is just the very basic. I mean, you saw just putting in the switch, works like a normal physical switch. Then you can pair it to your app. You can use your phone. Then you can pair it through a hub and use voice controls. And now you can take it even further. And this is where the creativity comes in, because you can group things together. Each switch itself has its own name. You've got outside lights, entry light, hallway lights. You can name stuff whatever you want. Whatever you want to say, that's what it will understand and go from. But then you can group them together. And you can create virtual switches. So if I want both the entry light and the hallway lights together, so maybe I don't want to have to say each one separately to turn on the entire strip, I can make a group and call it whatever I want, and it can do that. Then you can create scenes and scripts, and you can basically create macros. You can do whatever you want. So that's when the fun will come later on, when everything's together. But last night, let me show you what I did. So this is the Samsung SmartThings hub, and this is pretty much the central hub for the entire system. This is what everything is talking to. I've got also the IKEA hub, which is the big round one there in the center. That's what all my IKEA under cabinet kitchen lights will be talking to, and then it talks to that. And then that talks to her, and then I talk to her. So this is like my interface to the system. And this is the brains of the system. This is what ties everything together. And it's not going to live there, obviously. I just had it plugged in because I was in here working last night. This is completely over Wi-Fi. And you want to put this somewhere central in your house, because every hub and individual device that's going to connect to it needs good signal. So I'm going to put that probably in the photo studio in the center of the house. But there's no wired connection to it. It's completely Wi-Fi. You've just got power. Now that did take about a half an hour to set up, mostly because I was waiting for it to update. As soon as you connect to it, you just tell the app, it's all done through the phone app, what device it is. If you want to wire or connect via Wi-Fi, it does have an Ethernet port, so you can wire it in if you don't want to connect via Wi-Fi for whatever reason. And then it self-updates. And it says it takes 10 minutes. No, it took maybe a good half an hour. So it had a lot of updates to do. But now it's just sitting there, and everything's controlled through the app, and it works. I also badly need to mow the lawn. It is getting pretty long. Change of plans. Tonight is a garbage night, and I think I've only got 2 left until the housewarming party, so I need to build stuff today. I need to maximize what's going out there and get half the boxes out there. So today is going to be build day. I'm going to get everything gone from the outside back patio. Then I'm going to start in on what's in the living room. What do I have left? Got a whole bunch of chairs. I'll get all those done. The dining room table, that's I think 3 boxes worth. 2 of these are bar stools. I'll get those built, and I've got the entertainment center. Okay, that's doable. That's part of the entertainment center over there. Yeah, I need to get half the boxes done. Then out back, I've got 2 huge garage cabinets and Those are the only boxes left out there, so I'll get rid of those. I just have a chair and a love seat to still build, but the parts are already on the box. Yep, that's the plan today. Build and get rid of boxes. And I already have a huge collection. There's more in the kitchen of stuff from yesterday. Speaking of that, I do have some more boxes in the garage, including the new huge chandelier in here. That's probably got to go in first, so the table and everything isn't in the way. And I also have a small box for the closet light. That's no big deal though. This will be project number 1. First step, out with the old goodbye 1980s. Oh yeah, by the way, while I've been doing all this electrical work, turns out my office is on the same circuit as the outside lights and this entry can, so this whole room was on and off a whole lot yesterday. The humidor has capacitors inside and it keeps all the settings, even through a power outage. So when it comes back on, it goes right back to the way you had it set. Some of the cheaper ones out there, the little winder doors and everything, they will reset to their maximum values every time there's a power outage, which really sucks because that means you're way out of spec and you can go way too humid. So just an update there. I thought that was pretty cool. Almost done. Had to do some extra bracing because they did not build this can right. It was not supported into the studs. So I've got it supported enough to hang this now. It just needs some extra adjustment on the threaded part. And I got the height set. I just have to thread up the wire and connect it in. And real funny, putting the switch behind the column, guys. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Luckily, I have a stubby. Barely fits. So the install of these switches, especially just the singles, is insanely easy. You just snip off the old wire or the old switch and strip off fresh connections, twist on your caps, and you're good to go. Okay, physically installed. Now we can check all of our connections, both in the switch and the light. Make sure that everything's good. All right, we got power. Now, I'll show you what to do here. There's a blinking problem. You might see it blink and then stop, or blink and just keep blinking. This is just a out-of-the-box incompatibility between whatever bulbs you have controlled and the caseta switch. But there's trim you can set specifically on the low end to stop that from happening. I want to put the rest of the bulbs in, make sure it's not just a load problem, but I'll show you how to fix it regardless. 500 parts later, oh my God, you got 4 parts per light to assemble before you can put the bulb in. Wow, and that's not easy with big hands, let me tell you what. So the moment of truth, now let's fire it back up, all bulbs in, and it works perfectly. All right, so that's why I didn't want to do anything first. Sometimes it is a load issue if you've got an especially high or low load on the switch. So make sure you have everything plugged in before you jump to any conclusions. But here's what you do if you need to adjust your trim. Normally, out of the box, 100% up on the switch is full bright. But maybe, for example, this is just too bright and you don't want to swap out all the bulbs to lower powered ones. Maybe, you like 90% and you want that to be on. So when you hit that on, it only comes up to this and this becomes the new full power. You can do that to an extent. It seems to be about a 5 to 10% up and lower range that you can adjust. That is one feature of these caseta switches. These are the consumer version. That's about the only adjustment you can do to the switch itself. The professional switches have more adjustments available. You can even change the ramp up and down rates on the commercial switches. So for example, when you hit off, it fairly slowly comes off, but when you hit on, it immediately comes on, just pretty much like a switch. On the professional ones, if you wanted to make either of those faster or slower, you could, but not on the caseta. They are set to what you see here. So let's say you want to adjust your upper trim. You have the light on. You hold down the up and the on buttons until that LED starts to blink. and then we'll be able to use the up and down buttons to set a range. Now right now it's full up, so 100% is what is considered on. You can just keep moving that down. Now as you see that move down in the range, that is not going from full on to full off. This is pretty much, like I said, somewhere between 5 and 10% of the switch's range. So say this is 100, this is like 95. Think of it that way. So you can make very fine adjustments just in that last little bit. But I want it back up to full power. And likewise, you can do the same thing for the bottom range. And this is where that flashing becomes important. Now when you're done, whenever you've set, wherever you want it to set, you just hold down the off button until it trips back. And now it's solid. Okay, so that would be set to whatever I set it at. The bottom trim range is important because this gets rid of that flashing problem that you may have depending on the bulbs you have and the load. Okay, so right now this is showing that in the bottom trim, we're almost to its upper limit. Remember, this is like the bottom 5%. Now, it's an issue because some bulbs need a little more power than others to actually turn on. These aren't incandescent bulbs, they're LEDs, and they require a minimum voltage just to turn on. So if they don't have that, if they're slightly underpowered, you'll see that flash. That means they need a little more juice to fire off. So you just turn up your bottom trim until they're on. There'll be a point lower in the range when they start flashing. You know that's not enough juice. You just keep bumping it up until they're nice and solid. And you know what? Just go a little bit above that just for a little margin of error. And that's it. Set it again and you're good to go. Now I've only had the kitchen light where I had to do that. So far everything else has been perfect out of the box. Okay, let's build something else. All right, so I gotta get rid of stuff. Table is probably gonna be last because that is gonna fill this room. It's a really beautiful big table. Can't wait till you guys can see it. Rug will go down. Okay, I guess bar stools because they can get out of here. Then I'll do chairs. They can get out of here. Ooh, big project is gonna be the sideboard. That's pretty much a dresser. I know how long that thing took. Tons of drawers in this. So I'll bang all those boxes out of the way and then tackle something else. Oh yeah, and now I can go ahead and connect this switch to the smart home. First thing you do is fire up the Lutron app and add the actual switch into the Lutron system. And from there, you can add it to your hub or directly control it through whatever ecosystem. I'm going to add it to my Samsung Smart Things, and this will be part of the house. Alexa, turn off the dining room light. Thank you. My Bluetooth audio receiver just came in. I will be able to plug this in via a simple stereo cable, or they give you RCAs, depending on what you're going into, through my computer. So you know who will be able to pipe through the really good sound system in the office for playing music or whatever, instead of using the little puck speaker. Okay, got the receiver just stuck up under the desk. It can go anywhere. It just sits there, and I've got a little line into my sound blaster. You can go in anywhere if you've got a standalone speaker or your home audio system, your home theater. I could go direct into the speakers themselves, but then I wouldn't have any control through the computer. I would have to actually mix it through here and switch the input. I want to be able to play whatever's coming through Alexa mixed in with my computer, so it's all in one and all using the speakers. So that's why I'm going through the sound blaster. Alexa, play NPR. Alexa, play NPR.
Live from NPR. Here's WUSF Public Media, WUSF 89.7.
There we go. And of course, piping in through the computer, you can adjust the levels through your sound mixer or through your hardware, however you want to do it. You just balance the levels. I've got her at full volume, so she's giving full input to the Bluetooth receiver. And then through the software, I've got that bumped up through the line input to 100%. And from there, just controlling the mixing through the Creative Sound Blaster software. Works beautifully. And let me tell you what, the sound quality through a great stereo system really tells you how bad the quality is for the puck. I do not mind these at all for her voice, for the command repeats and asking questions, that kind of thing. Sounds good for just straight up human voice, but any kind of music, sorely lacking. And I really don't plan on using these too much for music. Play jazz on Pandora. Full fidelity, full bass, got the subwoofer going. Actually had to turn it down, it was vibrating the doors. Got these adjustable harps from Walmart. They're just the length we need in the low position. That will clear the bulb after adding the touch adapter. There we go. Now you just touch anywhere on the lamp. The wife didn't like the centerpiece out in the living room, so she's making her own. Oh, so Jason thinks I need a beer fridge and liquor cabinet. Really, bro? One super comfy tall bar stool, hard to find in stock, but it is solid as a rock. Very heavy duty. They give you this metal bar. Most of it is assembled. There's not too much you have to do. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts and 4 screws. That's it. 2 bar stools done. They will go there when everything is cleared out. In comparison, here's what you have to put together for the ikea. Quite a bit more involved. Whew. Alexa, pause. 2 things. Went a little extra heavy on the red pepper there with that bowl of zuppa toscana. Is good. Second thing, unfortunately, this one's going to cost me a little bit of money. I've been a Pandora fan for years, and for the last couple of years, I've bought a subscription. Fantastic service, especially since on your phone, it'll download hundreds of megs worth of songs, so you can use it offline without a data connection, which is awesome when I'm on the motorcycle. And I'll still use it for that at least until my subscription plan runs out. And I think I've got like another 6 months left. But they have 2 bitrate options. They have the high bitrate option, which is only available, as it turns out, through their app, and everything else, which gets a crappy, like, compressed, no high end, no real bass kind of version. It sounds like doo-doo. And you guessed it, when you're streaming through you-know-who, you get that low-end crappy version. So won't be using Pandora through the smart home. And I signed up for the Amazon Music Unlimited, which is just their version. Bigger library, works exactly the same way, so I still get my playlists and stations and all that kind of stuff. I just listen to curated stations like smooth jazz or synthwave or 80s rock, that kind of thing. Usually the selections are great, and they're well done by people that know what they're doing, and I just enjoy them. I just say play such and such and let it go. When I'm here editing, I've got jazz on for background music. I've been playing it all the month while I'm here building IKEA crap and working. That's just how I use the music services. Asked the wife if she wanted to sign up with me because there's a little discount if you get a multi-person. She's like, no, I don't use that at all. She uses music completely different. She just plays specific songs in her personal playlist. See, I'm the other way. I don't want to sit there and say, play such and such, play such and such, play such and such, or curate a playlist and hear the same songs over and over. I want to hear new stuff. So that's why I like the stations that all the different services put out. So back to extremely high quality through Amazon, and it's another $7.99 a month on top of the Prime subscription. So Not what I want to do, but after my 6 months or so runs out of Pandora, it's a wash, so that's fine.
Freshly manicured yard front and back. I finally remembered to edge around this little landscape island. It looks so much better. Sure wish solar lights were a lot brighter. I'd like these things seriously about 10 times brighter. They're just like walkway light brightness now. To the naked eye, if you're outside of the screen, you can see it fine. But just being inside the screen is enough to diffuse it, and they may as well not be there. Of course, they don't show up on camera at all. But at the same time, I'm not gonna put a big spotlight out there because of the neighbors. So I just went to lube up the screen door latch here because it's always been sticky, but it just recently stopped moving. And nope, I pulled the pin back and actually took a look, and I don't know what you would call it, the lever or the hammer or whatever, it's actually broken in half, and there's a piece wedged in there. So I'll get a new latch set. May as well do two, because if that one was that close to fatigue failure, this one over here probably isn't too far behind, unless I never used that one. I washed the patio again, and I couldn't figure out where these spots were coming from. I was thinking, something dripping or what. Nope, it's the residue, because the hose spigot is softened, and it's just this part doesn't drain very quickly, and it's not in the sun. So everything out there, dries pretty cleanly. But up here, just leaves a little bit of a puddle, and it's like a salt residue. So I'll just have to squeegee this out when I clean it from now on. Wife made some delicious homemade chicken and dumplings in the Instant Pot. That thing's awesome. How long did it take?
15 minutes.
Oh man, I need an after dinner nap. All right, I got 2 more ecodolans. Oh shoot, 3 more. No, that's 1. Yeah, that's 1. Whew. Okay, 2 more. Wrap these up real quick, get those out of the way. I'm gonna do the hammock out back, and I forgot I have to do a cigar video. I was supposed to do that yesterday. And I think that'll do it. I don't want to overload them anymore. Hammock's a pretty big box. I gotta wrap all these ecodolon chair wraps, boxes together with tape so you can take them. And then this wall of stuff. And there's some stuff in the garage, and the bin's full. And there's some little stuff scattered. That should do it, and that'll leave about the same for this Thursday. Right, Chloe? There's the wife's finished fall centerpiece. Pumpkin donuts. Complete with glitter. Right, Chloe? Ooh. She won't be returning that one.
Well, I wonder how long it's going to take me to get on the new garbage schedule. Yeah, it's not tonight. It's tomorrow night. Oh well. At least it's done. Everything had to be done. I just didn't actually need to rush today to do it. Went out to put everything out to the curb, and looking down the street, and there's not a can in sight. Ding. I have been used to the old schedule for 10 plus years. It's gonna be a while until I get over that. Mondays and Fridays. Mondays and Fridays. I should be able to remember that. It's the beginning and the end of the work week. Nope, it's just not in my head. Sundays and Thursdays are what's drilled into my head for garbage. Oh well. Well, let's go outside. It is a beautiful night. I'm gonna have a cigar, have a drink, and assemble some patio furniture. I'm gonna get through everything left out there. I just had another thought. I've got some really good sounding Bluetooth speakers, and I know a couple of them have microphones because they're designed to pair with a phone, and you can use them as a remote speakerphone basically. I wonder if that mic would be used by who as, like a remote mic. I wonder if I could pair a Bluetooth speaker to the Echo Dot in the bedroom, use it outside on the back patio, all I would have to do is flick on the speaker, take that outside. I know it would work as a speaker, but I don't know if the mic will work. Let's find out.
All right, so here's my test. This is the speaker I usually use in the garage. It'll be replaced, hopefully, by the one that comes on the new garage door opener. But it's got a microphone here on the side, and it sounds really good. I mean, it's not like, audiophile quality, but for what it is, I think I paid 13 bucks years ago on Amazon. Sounds really good and plays very loud. And I use it out for hearths and stuff like that. So I just keep this battery pack on it and basically turns it into like a week-long radio. This battery has so much juice, plus the internal battery here, it takes forever. I mean, I have to recharge it like once every couple months. So it just sits in my toolbox. So I just plugged it in because it was dead after sitting for, a couple months. See if she fires up here. Got a full charge on the battery backup. I charged that up. Should hear a noise here pretty soon that it's powered up. I don't know if it's paired to this phone. This is actually a brand new iPhone I got a couple of weeks ago. Come on. Sometimes when it's totally dead, it takes a little bit for it to get enough juice to actually boot up. And it switches on. There it goes. Okay. Now I'll probably get a low battery alarm for the first few minutes as it comes up from zero charge. Now, the way you pair a Bluetooth speaker to Alexa is, and that it just connected to my phone. My account pulled over some of the settings, so I'll have to disconnect that. But anyway, you go into the Alexa app on your phone. You can't, as far as I know, you know what? You may be able to just say, Alexa, pair a new device. That may work. But I didn't have any luck doing that in my office when I paired my computer. I had to use the app. So I made this mistake and it was driving me crazy. You don't add a device. When you go into the Alexa app, there's devices on the bottom and there's a big plus sign to add device. And there's speaker in there. Well, I was trying that. That's not for pairing a Bluetooth speaker. That is for adding a smart home speaker. I guess like Sonos is like the only brand out there. It's not really a thing. So that's what that's for. You don't do that. You go in the corner under settings and then, no, I'm sorry. You go under devices and up in the corner you hit Echoes or Alexa devices, something like that. Anyway, you pick the dot or the Echo device that you want to pair it to. In my case, I've got 3 running right now. So I'll pick bedroom, and there you'll see a Bluetooth devices setting. And you can add or pair devices in there. It's really confusing. They definitely have some work to do on their app. But I'm gonna go ahead and pair this up right now to the bedroom and see what happens. Okay, so here's the verdict. The microphone on the speaker does not work. It's strictly a one-way music device. That's okay, because my phone is an Alexa microphone. So all I have to do is open up the Alexa app and hit the listen button on the bottom if I want to issue a command. And all I have to say is, because I have the multiple dots, in bedroom at the end of the command. So I just said her name, played jazz station in bedroom, and whammo. We got music out here. Pretty cool. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Dude, how's that any different from just pulling up your phone and changing the station with your finger? You're absolutely right. But I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Walking into the house just now, realized one really big advantage to having it paired through Alexa instead of my phone. I can now walk away from the speaker without it disconnecting. That would happen all the time at a hearth or a party. I would be outside, paired to the speaker, go inside, grab some food, answer the door, whatever. You get 15, 20 feet away through the wall, whatever, doo-doo. All of a sudden, music's dead, and you gotta come back, restart it. No more with this, everything's stationary. That's worth it right there to me.
Another chair done. Setting up the set that'll be over here. I'm gonna build the love seat now and it'll go here. Table, another chair. All this is under the roof and fans, so no need for any shade or umbrella. Second set will be here. This umbrella can totally cover it right there. And I can just rotate it around and the hammock will be here. Haven't figured out where the grill will be. I'll probably just keep it in the corner and wheel it out here when I'm actually grilling. But the umbrella will also shade the hammock. On an update, I did another full bottle of the crud cutter. I think I mentioned it in a previous bottle, just sprayed it on. I did it full strength this time. I didn't dilute it, and what I did was I sprayed sideways. So as much product stayed on it as possible, and it did make even a bigger difference. These screens here though are actually stained. You can't see them unless you're at night here and these lights are shining sideways on it. You can't see it at all during the day. So it's a lot better. It used to be bright green during the day and that's completely gone. So I'm happy enough, but at this point I would have to replace this section of screen to get rid of what's there. So not quite worth it to me. I'll just live with this little bit here. It's just on these lower sections right now and along the back of the drain pipe. It's just where, you know, the mold and stuff was growing for so long. Got a little red-headed lizard there. He's stuck inside. Actually, I have a few spots I need to repair where the screen is pushed out along the bottom here. I don't know if something came in or out or if it was wind. I know I didn't kick it. There's a couple little tiny spots up there somewhere. Not a big deal. I think it's just like a big rubber gasket I have to take out, put the screen back, and put it in with a roller or something. Wow, lucky timing. The tip on this speed tool wore out in the last bolt. I kid you not. I never want to assemble patio furniture again. And of course, I get down to the very last thing, missing parts. I'm missing the two S hooks that connect the chains to the poles, so I can't mount the actual hammock. Oh well, that'll be a trip to Lowe's real quick and we'll fix that. Got the area set up here. It's looking real good. What do you think, Chloe? Oh yeah, this is gonna work. See you tomorrow, guys.